Welcome to Chapter 7 of my furry life. I'm out of the cons and into the world. You can see I'm on this island and I'm technically trespassing right now, and there might be bears around, so hopefully this won't turn into a will. So, as we continue on, I vow to go out of the cons and do new things outside of the hotels. So, that whole summer of 2011, I'm fursuiting a bunch at any opportunity. I'm going to Coney Island. I'm going to parties. I'm bringing the rock with me. Going to the beach. Any excuse to fursuit, I end up doing it. And what's funny is people used to think I was like full of myself. I was getting an ego. I remember before AC11, I put out a free hug pre-order as a gag. It wasn't supposed to be taken seriously, and people actually took it seriously. And they thought I was getting too big for my britches. And a lot of issues were popping up as an admin of NY Furs for me personally, because I just felt like there was too much attention on me, and I wanted other people to have the spotlight. I didn't want to be the face of the group, and I was also doing things on my own, and I didn't want any actions I did to reflect on the group as a whole. So that summer I decided I'm going to step down, and I ended up giving my admin privileges to C and Pichu. They were going to be the new admins of NY Furs, along with Dream, who was still there, but to be honest, he didn't do much. Sorry, Dream. And I decided to just focus full time on suiting. And my first stop was Camp Farrell in Canada. It was like an adult camp. I've never gone to camp in my entire life, so this was like the perfect opportunity to see what it's all about, while also being able to fursuit and meet new people. I was supposed to go with Ryan, but he ended up canceling because I think he had a paper due or something. He couldn't go, so I took a bus with a bunch of other campers, and it was a fun ride. It was like 3-4 hours, but everybody had great energy. And once I arrived at the camp, I ended up rooming with Kaz. That was the last time I ended up seeing him, and he didn't really want to like chill with me. I don't know why. He's kind of had a weird vibe around him. I don't know if he was still hung up on past things, but I didn't care. I was just there to make new friends. I don't know what that is. There's little bombs going off. I hope I don't get killed. But Camp Farrell was awesome. I did so much. I went canoeing, kayaking, I did archery, I went ziplining, hiking. That's when I learned how to swim. We were in a lake, and I just let my body do all the work and take over. And it was a fantastic time. They played the room. We played dodgeball with the counselors. There was food 3 times a day, the camp hall. And even though I stepped down as admin of NY Furs, I always brought the flag with me because I wanted to represent for my city. And I wanted to make sure people knew like the NY Furs were at this event. So it was the closest I've ever felt to reliving the experience of Anthrocon. And yeah, I would love to go back. I've tried to go back, but it's so popular now, it's hard to get in. Oh, they also did this really fun game called Predator versus Prey, where it's like manhunt. So if you're the predator, you're going after the prey, and the prey are collecting leaves and other stuff to like bring back to base. It was good, and I was in good physical shape for it. But there's a video about Camp Farrell down below. Check that out. I miss it so much. Let's see what else. After Camp Farrell, I started going to Delaware Fur Bowls, which was a bowling meet they held in Delaware, like either monthly or bi-monthly. And I met a lot of cool people through there. I met Inu, Rad Fox, and of course Coon was there too. And I'll go bowling in suit, and then Rad Fox would host these crazy ass after parties at his place. It was like a 3-story house. He had a pool table and a whole bar, and those parties would get out of hand. Like people would just get naked and start like doing things. I, for one, I played matchmaker. I would tell people like, "Hey, you should like hook up with this guy or something like that," and it would happen. It was just like super crazy. I was supposed to be on Bear Mountain, you can see, but they were closed. That's why I'm on this random island. So it's not a place I typically hang out, but it's good for the video since the motif is going into the unknown. I went back to Fur Fright this season, and that was probably like the best Fur Fright hands down. I was hanging out with Twilight and Yoko most of the time. I dressed up as Captain America, and I had the shield and the shirt, and it was a blast. Um, this Fur Fright, so I started like exploring my sexuality a little bit because I was a single guy and Ron has been out of the picture for a long time. So I was like, let's just start seeing what else is out there. Without getting too explicit. That's when I started like experimenting a little bit. So I went down that path. This was also the Fur Fright where we had a friend of ours. I will not say his name. He fell asleep on the toilet, and it was so funny. This guy was so blasted, and he actually ended up missing the toilet. We have a picture of him. It's so bad. And he took his dirty underwear drawers and he put it in a pizza box in the hallway. Furries and pizza have a lot of history together, and I think it starts with that incident. So that was Fur Fright in a nutshell. I did the Halloween parade in fursuit with Pichu, and I think Ryu was there, and Dream, or Jackson. Jackson was there. That was a cool time. I ended up flashing people with my Captain America shirt. Took a lot of great pictures in Times Square. It was awesome. And then my birthday came around again. It was my 22nd, and I had another party. Now, it wasn't as awesome as the first one, but it was still very special because Yoko and Twilight came to that one. We streamed it live in the internet. That's when it started taking off, live streaming. I don't know who was watching, but it was another memorable event. My 21st was like one of the best days of my entire life, but my 22nd is still up there. And I'm just glad people came out again to show me love. I'll never take people's love for granted. Or I try not to, I should say. And then it was about time to go to MFF again. And I finally had my suit. And I entered the Fursuit Dance competition, and probably one of my favorite ones because I danced to an S Club 7 song. I used to love S Club 7. That was my shit back in the day. I loved the show. I had their CDs, so I danced to Don't Stop Moving, and a lot of people enjoyed that performance as well. But they did not cut my music off, so they played the entire song, so I was exhausted. If they cut it off at like 2.5 minutes like they were supposed to, it would have been one of my best performances. But since they kept it going, I kept spamming the same moves, and you could see me visibly get tired. So it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but as long as people enjoyed it, that's what counts. And this con, I went to my first Fursuit party. I was giving out condoms there. I wasn't engaging in all that nonsense, but I was giving out condoms, and I saw a lot of weird stuff. Again, being on the outskirts of it, I was fine, like seeing it hands on, and as long as people do things responsibly, I don't care. And you shouldn't care either. They're all adults. They paid money for their suits, and they can do whatever the hell they want with them. That's my opinion. And then going to December, I believe I host a Christmas party. Even though I wasn't hosting fur meets anymore, I would still throw parties here and there because I still wanted to see the group and see my friends. It was just better to spread it out. A lot of people were coming to these meets, and they would break stuff or eat food, and they wouldn't say thank you or they wouldn't apologize for what they did. It just felt like they were being ungrateful, and that was like another reason why I wanted to step away. It was starting to feel like it wasn't worth it anymore. And one time they had like a mini orgy in my living room. They didn't ask me permission or anything. I ignored it because I was too nice to say anything about it. But it's very disrespectful to be in someone's house and just like engage in those activities. Especially, I was living with my mom in the same apartment at the time. But yeah, it was just a lot of reasons for me stepping away. It just felt like the right time. But again, I was still a member of the group. I wasn't trying to like leave them behind. So I had like a little Christmas party, and that was nice. And then Furstivus was coming up, which was like a mini one-time con for New Year's, and it took the place of the New Year's Furry Ball because that wasn't happening that year. So they asked me, people who ran FAU, they asked me if I could do a dance panel with me and my friends, and also if I could do like a little dance performance during dinner. So I said, of course. Like, why not? Like, that sounds awesome. I definitely do that. And so it was a group of us. It was like me, Dream, Ryu, Jackson, Pesky, Twilight, Yoko, and Xerxes. I think that was everybody. Was TDK there? I want to say he was, but I think he was there. Maybe. Maybe TDK. No, he's probably in Pittsburgh because it was a holiday. Pichu and C were there as well. So it was like the gang. My gang was all there. I was late to my own dance panel that I was supposed to host. Very, very foolish about that. But yeah, I got there at the end, and luckily Xerxes was there to step in for me, and he was teaching them a little stuff, so it wasn't all bad. And then we geared up to do the dance performance for dinner. We agreed we're gonna do. It was me, Dream, Yoko. Whoa, whoa. What? Oh Jesus! You scared me. I thought it was a bear. Okay. False alarm. I thought there was a bear out here. So anyway, uh, us dancing was me, Dream, Jackson, and Yoko. So we all did two songs as a group, like "Born This Way" by Lady Gaga and "Give Me Everything" by Pitbull. Then we all did a solo dance. My solo dance was "Sexy Love." Then I brought out Twilight and I put her in her chair and I was like dancing around her, all sexy, like yeah, I love Neo. That's my dude right there. So yeah, this con is going great. Yoko gets high and she's laughing and laughing. She can't stop laughing. I remember that like it was yesterday. And it was like yesterday because I saw the video of it recently. And the clock strikes midnight. We take the rock and we sacrifice him as a way to start off the new year with good vibes. It's like, yeah, man, we got the rock. Let's destroy him. And the crazy part of this whole New Year's shindig is Twilight tells me she has a thing for me. And again, I never thought that'd be possible. I never thought she was into me like that at all. And I didn't know what to do. I was just like so shocked. I was like, wow, she actually has feelings for me. So I did what any man would do, and I totally shut it down. Yeah, I told her like it's not gonna work out because it's long distance and blah blah blah. The real reason is that I was afraid, man. I can be a real self sabotager at times. That's something I'm working on. When you have a good opportunity, you shouldn't let it go by due to fear or insecurity. You should like embrace it fully. I wish I embraced it, but I turned her down, and yeah, she took it on the chin. She didn't seem upset, but I'll later find out that wasn't the case. And we went about the rest of the con. We played Uno, Dream shotgun the beer because he won, and we went to get Philly cheesesteaks. That was my first Philly cheesesteak. We went to this place called Larry's Steaks, and yeah, Philly started becoming a place I went to a lot. I would go to this guy. His name was Philadelphia Dog. I'll go to his house a lot. He lived right by Gino's and Pat's, and he would have parties there. Me and Dream would crash at his place, and he's a really cool guy. And yeah, he eventually moved to New York, which was nice. How I met him was interesting. It was FAU 2011. I was at his room, and he was smoking with Dream, and then con security came, and they said, "Oh, you can't smoke weed here," blah blah. You know what Dream did? You know what he did? Fool, listen to this. Dream went out the damn balcony and jumped from the second story and left me behind to get the heat from security. I wasn't even smoking. And he's like, "I'm out of here." So they ended up kicking Philadelphia Dog out, which was sad. And Dream left me behind. But I love Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a great, great place. Um, at the time, Ket had a crush on this girl named Lauren. She was starting to show me some interest. She said a lot of nice things, like, "Oh, there's like a passion behind your eyes." And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to girls giving me compliments, saying anything nice about me. It's brand new, never before seen footage. But I know Ket really liked her, and I didn't want to make a move on her because bros before, the rest. And yeah, I had to shut that down. Don't want to hurt Ket. And another girl was showing me interest. Call her Amy. And I met her at Furry, but she was like obsessed with this DJ guy. Like she loved this DJ guy. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Just, just saying, like, he's not paying you any mind. Why? You should go for somebody else. I wasn't even trying to hit on her. Just stating the facts. She started showing me interest too. She came to a party that I had for the first year anniversary of having my fursuit, and Twilight and Yoko came to that party too. Like it was supposed to be a small thing. I'm like, hey, come with me as I celebrate the first year of having a suit. I live streamed it, but people came through. Parties were becoming my normal thing now. It's like I love bringing people together and showing them a good time. So parties were becoming more normal for me. And yeah, she slept over. She made like a little move on me. It's like, okay, like this is happening. Um, so FWA was around the corner, and I dressed up as Jin Kazama from Tekken. It was a really good cosplay. I should have used it way more, but I love being Jin Kazama. And at the same time, there was an anime convention going on called Dragon Con, and I went there. It was like literally down the street, and yeah, I hung out with some of the people there, and we took pictures, and it was nice. It's my first like anime con, and I did the dance competition again. I actually got in. I don't know how because I don't really think that performance was any that good. It was just me like spamming Jin Kazama moves. Maybe they liked the music I picked because it was different. But Diggy also tried out. He didn't get in. He should have got in. He danced to like Janet Jackson "All for You." He should have been in there. So, um, not a lot crazy, nothing really crazy happened at this FWA, but I did meet someone really awesome. His name is Pizza Shep, and I met him on the like Monday, and I was waiting for my bus to go back. Yeah, I took a bus to Atlanta, which is a terrible idea. But you know how I got that terrible idea is because I was drinking Georgie with TDK, and I was looking up flights for Atlanta, and I was like, man, they're so expensive. And he's like, you should wait for them to go down. And I'm like, you're right. I'll wait for them to go down. No, they never went down. They went up. So I ended up taking a 16-hour bus ride, and then on the way back it was like 18, and I had this big guy squishing me. So I was like, fuck. Then I had to rebuy my ticket because I got it for the wrong day, and it's a mess. But meeting Pizza Shep was a great experience. He's like super chill like me. He loves hip hop. Really nice guy, and I miss you if you're watching this. Haven't seen him in a few years. Overall, great guy, and he's going to show up again later on in the series. 3 weeks later, I went to another con, FCN. Even though, actually, no, man, I skipped something. I skipped a lot of things. Forgive me. Before Furstivus, I went on the Furry cruise, and yeah, as the name implies, it's a cruise with furries, and we went to Haiti and Jamaica. I got Foo out here. He's waiting for me to wrap this up. And yeah, man, being on a cruise is like being in like a fancy hotel on the water, and they got so many things to do. They had ice skating. They had I think they had a surf simulator, and of course, we fursuited all over the boat. They loved us there. And there was this guy that used to work for DreamWorks. His name was Crash. He was part of the crew, and he was a furry too. No, not you. You know him? Oh shit! What you know? What you know about him?
He's a cool guy. He's a friend of a friend.
He's awesome.
I got to know about a lot of furries from down south, like Florida.
Yeah, dude. I love him. I haven't seen him forever. I miss him. But he was hanging out with our group, and he was chilling with us a bunch. I filmed another music video there, um, to another S Club song. But yeah, I like that video because I mashed two songs together. You can check it out in the description below. Jamaica was beautiful, man. The water was crystal clear, blue. I could see my feet. It was. Woof. I just love swimming in clean water. That's my jam. In Haiti, I went on this like little mini roller coaster thing where you just like sit down and you like go around. That was nice. The food was good. Trying to think what else we did. What else did we do? Oh, you weren't there. The people there were very nice, and they were very welcoming too. We represented with the NY First Flag. It's a small group. It was like 23 of us, and every night we would meet up at like 7 or 8 in this one room that we reserved for ourselves. We just talk about what we did, what kind of excursions we went on. For the most part, I went with PUNC, and we kept it pretty low key. We went to Montego Bay in Jamaica. That was about it, because we didn't want to get lost. But there was this huge boat party on like the last day, and we went there in suit, and it was a blast, man. And I would go to the clubs every night. That was like my first club experience. And there was this one girl there, like, Frisky, I've been waiting for you all day. She was drunk as hell. I was like, oh, wait for me. Furry Cruise was the shit. And around Christmas time, I did another music video with Yoko. See, what's great about Yoko, man, she's down for whatever. Like, she's very open-minded and spontaneous. So she came down from Connecticut, and we shot a music video to another S Club song. Like, S Club was like in my brain, rent free, and it was cute. We went to the Rockefeller Center and basically the neighborhood around there. Just did a little, short video. It was cute. We did it in like one night. Check that out. And then in February, I went to a furry ski weekend, which is a furry meet in Colorado. They rent a cabin, and people just come together and they ski and snowboard. These guys were snowboarding in fursuit. They had their GoPro cameras, their tripods, and these guys were just like zigzagging and making it look so easy. I was like, Jesus, man, how do you guys do that? It's my first time on a snowboard. I've always wanted to try it because I love SSX. It's a video game, if y'all don't know. And I had a helmet that I could plug my iPod in, so I was playing the SSX soundtrack while going down. And I was landing on my head over and over again, man. Wasn't cute. I was landing over and over on my head, but I kept going up and doing it again. And I wanted to do that again, like, so badly. It was such a rush. Once you get on the board and you start going down without falling, it's such a great feeling. Overall, the vibe was really chill, and people were really nice. The altitude was heavier, so I took a hit of a bong and I got really stoned. Yeah, man. And it was the first meet. I didn't know anybody from there. And I would tell them, I came all the way from New York City. They're like, you came all the way from New York? What the hell are you doing out here? It's boring, man. And yeah, Colorado's beautiful. The mountains and all the snow. We went tubing in Fursuit. That was really cool. Yeah, like these experiences I got to go on, I don't take them for granted. I look back on them very fondly because I know a lot of people, they don't get a chance to do these things. So I'm just thankful that I got to go out there and see another side of the fandom that's not just the Holiday Inn. Speaking of which, FCN rolls by like 3 weeks after FWA. It's like the shortest gap between cons I've ever had. And I went there because I just heard a lot of good things about it. Ket goes there, and it was a smaller con, but I had a lot of good vibes, a lot of good people. Did the dance comp there to a song from the SSX soundtrack, and I thought it was pretty neat. I enjoyed myself, and I was staying with the Mercer already at this Mercer party. So I was like trying to go back and get some stuff from the room, and everybody looked like they were in these giant cereal mascot costumes, and it looked so funny. They were trying to get me to join. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. And the con was secret agent themed, so I wore a tuxedo shirt and I had like a little BB gun that looked like a PP7. That's James Bond's signature gun. And yeah, I enjoyed myself. And the best part, this furry named Camo Rovac, he did a music video on the last day of the con on a whim. And so we gathered a bunch of us together and we did this music video to the song Hangover by with Tayo Cruz. And man, it was so much fun. We had the pose like passed out. And then we had a little dance cipher. And Scroy drew up Fruit Loops in the tub. It was a blast. So yeah, I think that's the last convention I went on in this chapter. I'm trying to think if I should mention anything else. So I decided that I wanted a dance floor in my backyard because parties are becoming a thing now, a regular thing at my place. So me and my father, he helps me put together a dance floor. And I don't mention my father in these videos because he just really didn't care too much about my furry escapades. It's just like, okay, whatever. But he will be brought up next time. So that's the nicest thing he's ever done for me is like this dance floor, and it's just like it's wood and it's very basic, but it got the job done. And I was to put together a dead dog dance in Brooklyn because why wait for a con to have a furry party? You can have it here in my backyard, my literal backyard. So that was going down. And this girl Amy, she had a birthday party, and I remember I went to it, and I was about to leave, and this girl basically said, "Oh, you're about to leave," so she like kicked everybody out of her room, and she decided that she's gonna have a frisky entree, and just went to town on me, man. she she went to town on me. Jesus. And it was crazy. She just hopped on for a ride. I didn't mind if you're wondering, like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like she just took advantage of you. No, it's like I didn't mind. I was just surprised. It's like, wow, like this is happening. Like, okay, it was my first big sexual experience with a girl, and it was enjoyable, except the fact that there wasn't odor. Not to throw shade on her, but I'm being realistic. Felt like she didn't shower for a while. Besides that, it was fine. You're like, what the fuck? uh, Also, around this time, there was a girl named Natasha. I'll call her Natasha. She was running a blog on Tumblr about fursuiters, and she would just post pictures of them like every day. And I don't remember how or I think she reached out to me on FA, and we got in contact and we started talking. And she had a suit of her own, so we went suiting around in the city. It was very cute, and yeah, she was just a really cool girl. She was new to the fandom. She wanted to learn more about it, so I taught her everything I knew, and she wanted to go to fur beats and conventions, the whole nine. And then I was starting to get a thing for her. I was like, this could be something. So she went away for a few weeks to for a school program. So I decided, when she comes back, maybe I should ask her out, see what happens. So I actually did ask her out. I didn't mention it because I thought I did it next chapter, but I did ask her out. You know how I did it? I took a bunch of post-it notes and I spelled out the word prom question mark. And she said yes. So that was really cool. And you'll find out what happens in the next chapter. And then it's the end of May 2012, and the Dead Dog Dance is about to go down. And to coincide with it, I write a bunch of new songs. And what I do with my songs, I label them as albums. I put the whole track listing and I put them in order and I put them on FA. So it's like a Dead Dog Dance album or an actual Dead Dog Dance. And I got everybody involved on this project. I told everybody I wanted to write a song with. And, we collab, and it was a cool, awesome collaborative effort. It was great. And, I loved it. I love when I can write with other people. It makes it really meaningful. Just wanted to shout out that this is when me, Pesky, TDK, and Xerxes officially became the Fursuiting Cypher. We saw this whack furry short film and we roasted it. Then we sat in my living room and we all wrote rhymes to this beat. And yeah, it was one of my favorite songwriting experiences, man. Like just having all those individual personalities on song together was a lot of fun. And I wish I could do it again. But you can check out that song down below. It's called All Eyes on Me. It was a lot of fun to write. And also wanted to say that Camo was the one that drew the paw print on the dance floor. He drew it just by pure memory. I think he might have painted it too. Like he was staying with me for a week and he just came in the clutch and was like, oh, you got a dance floor? I'm just gonna draw a paw print. Like no big deal. So thanks again, Camo. I really appreciated that. And then the Dead Dog Dance actually happened, and it wasn't a big turnout. Maybe like 26 people came. Yoko was there, of course. She's always the life of the party. Pesky and TDK showed up. I think Pesky DJ'd. Xerxes came late. He always comes late. And there wasn't a lot of dancing, but you know what happened? We stood up all night because we had a good time enjoying each other's company. That's what was important. And I loved it. I played all the music that I wrote to, and then Pesky DJ the rest of the night. And it was very, small scale. We put up Christmas lights. We had a little disco ball. It was very, low maintenance, but that's part of the charm, I think. Part of the charm. And then in June, I wanted to do a furry event on an island like this one. And I tried to organize it with Ket. We were going to go to this place called Puddin Bay. And it fell through. I guess we couldn't get enough people to do it or commit to it. So I ended up taking my mom to Puerto Rico instead because I'm like, yo, I haven't been to Puerto Rico in like 8 years. I should go and explore and actually enjoy it for once because as a kid, I just really never got into it. I would always stay in the car playing video games, but I was like, nah, I actually want to experience Puerto Rico to the fullest. So we rented a van with my cousin, rest in peace, and we just went around the island. We visited family. We went to the beach, and of course, my crazy ass fursuited in 90-degree weather in San Juan, and the kids loved me over there. And I put together a little video for YouTube, and I still get comments to this day about that video because there's just not a lot of Puerto Rican furries out there. we're Puerto Rican fursuiters. So to this day, people still comment on the video. That means a lot. I went to the Bacardi factory, and then I explored the Kamui caves, and I went jet skiing, and that was so cool. I wanted to go like parasailing or paragliding. Can't remember which one it was, but the weather was bad, so I couldn't do that. But it did not distract me from the fun I had there. That was my best Puerto Rico trip ever. I was with Kayla. She was down there. She moved back the year prior, so I got to meet up with her again, and we went to the rainforest, and we swam under a waterfall. Can't beat that with a baseball bat. And that's what going out of the cons into the world is all about. And the very last thing that happened, I wrote another story, had another battle within myself, this time calling me out on my loose behavior, I'll call it, and saying that, I'm not capable of settling down with someone, you're doing this and that. And I'm like, no, that's not true. So it was another fight, and this time it was more epic, and there was snowboarding involved, and it was different locations. It was all the locations I went to on this chapter. And of course, I ended up winning, because in a fight against yourself, you're going to win, obviously. And yeah, chapter ends on a good note. Unfortunately, I got news that Dream would be departing very soon. He'd be going to the DR, so I had to prepare myself for that. And yeah, I went home with just a hopeful outlook on things. And that was basically it. I'm going to check if there's anything else I need to talk about. So I always forget to talk about something in these things. Oh yeah, schniggity diggity. I forgot to talk about this last time. At MFF, we roomed with a guy who got so drunk he slept outside the room, and he had a fucking key card on him. And he would always say schniggity diggity. 6 people in that room with 1 bed, so you can imagine how great that was. But that's all. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the series. It's coming to a close very soon. Only a few chapters left, and I'll see you guys next time. If a bear doesn't eat me, or if I don't get shot out here. Thanks to Fu for being so patient.
Dude.
Enjoy your summer.